What's up, guys? I wanted to show you guys my book bags and my haul. So, first, I have my little Barnes& and Noble book bag. And what I did was I went to the library because I go to the local library often. And in my county, we have two libraries in my county. And one of the buildings has been under construction for a little while, so they had a temporary location set up. And what they have done is the temporary location's last day was yesterday because they're going back to the actual library, which has now been remodeled. So in going back to the library, they closed down yesterday, which was December 8th. They don't open again until March 16th, which gives them time to transport the books, have the holiday season, and, get everything ready at the new branch. Well, same branch, remodeled. And so, if you check out books by December 8th, then you get to keep them till March 16th. So usually I don't grab this many books because I don't have time to read them, but I got 4 months pretty much to read these. So I grab like a lot. So first of all, this was just in my book bag. I didn't get it from the library. I actually bought it. I own this, but Danielle Steele until the end of time. And so I'll get around to reading that sometime, but because I own it, it won't be anytime soon. Okay. So these are Susan Reese's Silver set, and it's Silver Mystery Series. This lady actually lives here in Saint Michaels, Maryland, where I live and where I got these books from. And so I bought Tarnished Silver a while ago. I honestly have never finished it, so now I'm like, I have to go and get Tarnished Silver and finish that, so then I can read Sacred Silver, followed by Painted Silver. Now, I don't know where this one comes in at, but this is Hammered Silver. And this is, it's a Chesapeake Bay novel set, like I said, because the lady lives here. And I don't know what Hammered is, because it's not part of the trilogy, but it's got to come in here somewhere. So I'm going to finish Tarnished Silver, which, like I said, I own. And then I'm going to do Painted and Sacred, and then Hammered. And then I didn't know much about this, but it's Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. Didn't know much about this, but I know that there is a movie about it, so I wanted to read the book before watching the movie. Now, because I live in the 8th best small town in America, which is rich in our history from slavery until now, not so much before slavery, but we don't have a very large African American literary area here, so it's kind of hard to find books by us for us. But I came across this and it looked interesting, so I was like, well, I'm gonna read this. And it's by Diane Marie Brown, and I have no idea what it's about. Black Candle Woman. I just saw a beautiful black woman on the cover, and I say, well, grab that, put it in the haul. So that is my haul from my Barnes & Noble bag, which I've had since the 90s. When I lived in Baltimore, I used to go to Barnes & Noble at the Inner Harbor. So I've had that for that long. I probably had this one longer. So this is my local library branch, Talbot County Library. Now, because I'm an Easton person, it's Easton is where I got it from, but it's Easton and Saint Michaels branch, which is now where I currently live. So, and Saint Michaels branch is the one that has been remodeled, and therefore I have all these books until March. So, I was just looking for stuff, so I was in a hurry because I was trying to grab a haul because I did it last minute last night. I took all of the kids' books back that I got, the kids' books haul from the library last week, and I was like, I'm just going to get a bunch of stuff, adult, contemporary novels, fiction, so that I could, have till March. I'll be good. So I'm going to finish all of the stuff that I have checked out in digital libraries. And after digital libraries, I'm going to go to my actual physical books. And then after my physical books, I'll read stuff that I have in digital that I own, that I haven't gotten around to yet. So this is The Cemetery of Untold Stories by Julia Alvarez. And I just picked it because it's fantasy. I like a lot of fantasy. So I wanted to check it out. So there's that. Now, I know you guys hear me talk a lot about Brenda Jackson because I am an absolute Brenda Jackson fan. Pretty much read everything she writes. Another author that's pretty much automatic buy, which may change because she's evolving and her writing style is changing and it's not going where I go. But that's Nora Roberts. Now, also another Maryland person. One of my mother's clients had a stack of Nora Roberts books, probably about 16, 17 years ago. And she's like, I don't like to throw books away, but I have no need for them and I have no space for them. And my mother's like, well, my daughter reads. She'll probably like them. And I was hooked. Nora Roberts trilogies, fantasy, mystical, magical, romance. I love it. So I've been hooked ever since. And then she would always explain all these places in Maryland, like the Inn at Boonesboro and the Turn the Page bookstore. And I was like, she made that stuff up. It was like Chesapeake Bay Brothers. I was like, that stuff ain't nowhere near Chesapeake Bay. I ain't never heard of that stuff. I live right on the bay, you know what I mean? It exists. It's just up in the part of Maryland where you only go for certain things, like up in the Hagerstown area. If you're from this area, you may know why people from the shore would go there. But I've never gone to Boonesboro. I've never gone to TTP bookstore. I say I'm going to go every year. If she has like a signing or something, I say I'm going to go. But reality is, if you don't have to go for the reason that most people from the shore go up to the area, you just don't want to go because that is a drive. And then your ears start popping in the mountains and all of that. Boom, boom, boom. But Nora Roberts. So this is The Next Always, which I have read, but I do go back and I do reread. And since they had this here, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to read it. And it's the Inn at Boonesboro trilogy. This was the first book in that trilogy. And like I said, I've read all three of them. But since I saw this, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this one and reread. Sorry, phone's ringing. And then this one, this set that I have here, kind of messed me up. The Dragonheart Legacy, which was also a trilogy. I feel like I've read it. Now, I know that I read books 1 and 2, but I was confident that I read book 3. And then in one of my fan club discussion groups, they were talking about something, and I was like, I don't remember that. So then I'm like, did I finish it? Well, since I have these books for 4 months, I can start it and finish it all over again. So, the Dragonheart trilogy from Nora Roberts. Book 1, The Awakening. Then book 2, The Becoming. And as you can see, also little fantasy sticker. Love fantasy books. And then book 3, The Choice. And I'm thinking maybe I didn't do book 3. And I went back to check my history, but I think I bought book 1 on Audible. But I think that I read the other 2 either from the library or for free from Kindle. So there is no record of it in my purchases because I didn't purchase it. So, but I'm like, I swear, for as long as you have to wait for Nora Roberts books, usually a year, November. So I just got the last of the Lost Bride trilogy last month, and I have not finished that yet. But I'm going to finish that after I finish these because I own that. I can read that whenever I want. So I think that's it. I think that's my book haul. So let's see what I came away with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excuse me. 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 books to read over this 4-month period that the library is getting all fixed. So I checked them out yesterday. They're not due back until March 16th. I think that gives me enough time to get through 10 of them. Although, I don't know, start back at school in January, so I'll be busy. And then, like I said, this 11th book I already owned. It was just in my book bag, and I haven't started it yet. But Danielle Steele and Jackie Collins were where my love of adult fiction kind of started. My mother had Danielle Steele and Jackie Collins on her bookshelf. Jackie Collins wrote the Santangelo stories, and she had Lucky and The Bitch, and I wanted to say bitch so bad as a kid, and I know my mother doesn't, do any censorship on art, so I could say the title because I was talking about the book. So I wanted to read it just so I could say the bad word. But it actually turned out to be a really good book. So Danielle Steele and Jackie Collins just kind of became automatic buys through my love of reading that I inherited from my mother, who no longer reads as much as she used to. But she's joined a book club, so that has helped. She is back to reading at least 1 book a month. So that's great. And I have gone over the timetable for this video, so you won't see it all on Instagram or TikTok, but you'll be able to find it on Facebook. Have to go? That's my doctor. That's one I have to answer.